Of the Blue Tits Chill Swimmers ahead of their wonderful event that's coming up this Saturday. Good morning, Sian.
Good morning. Hello. How are you?
Very well,
Very
thank
good.
you. I'm feeling nice, warm, and toasty in the studio at the moment. But from what I gather, the Blue Tits aren't always feeling nice and warm. What is happening this Saturday? Let's jump straight there, straight off the bat. What's happening on Saturday?
Well, on Saturday, we are holding our second World Blue Tit Day. So the first one last year was a very loose affair, always on October the 1st. But now we have the wonderful Amy helping us and Sarah, and they have put together this incredible day on Saturday. So it's 6 hours that we are live on Facebook for the day. And we're talking to Blue Tits from all around the world. We've got competitions. We're talking to amazing people in the swim world, people who create kit for us, all sorts of things. And I'm sure there'll be an awful lot of interesting things that we don't know that's going to happen that will happen.
That's a bit like our show, Tom. That's what
That
happens.
is.
Expect the unexpected. Now, just sort of going, oh, we've got the Blue Tits Day. What are Blue Tits? That's what I want to know, first of all.
Well, in 2014, a friend and I decided that we would get rid of our wetsuits, which we'd always been swimming in, and we would have a go at swimming throughout the winter in just our swimsuits. I honestly thought it was going to be quite easy. It was quite challenging. And in 2014, there weren't thousands of people swimming in open water, particularly not in Pembrokeshire and not in swimsuits in the winter. So we became quite a spectacle around Pembrokeshire, and I quite enjoyed the attention. It was great fun because I was screaming a lot. I still scream a lot now when I go in the water. And so I was drawing all this attention. So I was getting a chance to talk to people. And a few of those people said, I'd quite like to join you. And so they did. So that was 8 years ago. And over those 8 years, we've just grown and grown and grown. And because I run a campsite here in Pembrokeshire, a lot of people were coming down for their holidays. And even in the summer, it was, slightly unusual to see somebody swimming, particularly distance, in a swimsuit. So they said, oh, I'd like to be a Blue Tits because, they found the name funny. Everybody still does find the name funny. And that's exactly how we want it, to make people laugh. And so they set up their own Blue Tit groups around the UK. And then they started to set up groups around the world. Wow. So 8 years on, we now have 108,000 Blue Tits around the world, all in different groups. So this Saturday, going live for 6 hours, we really have the opportunity to speak to a lot of UK people as well, but also overseas people. So Amy and Sarah have got this long list, and it's all kind of scheduled. So we're starting off by talking to the New Zealand Blue Tits, and then we're moving over to Estonia and so on, so on. So it's this incredible community that now has been built up around basically swimming in open water. And it started off as just skin swimmers. We were very much focused on swimsuits. But as the time progressed, as the years went on, I discovered that for a lot of people, just getting in the water was a massive big deal. So now we're not all about skin swimmers. We're just about the community that has been created around cold water. So we don't mind what you swim in. Initially as well, it was kind of deemed that we were only women because we were only women here in Pembrokeshire. Yeah. But now we're not, we're all inclusive. We have people of all genders that swim with us, and we are welcoming to everybody. And it's run very loosely really on Facebook. So if you fancy a swim, if I fancied a swim at 11 o'clock this morning, I would just put it onto our North Pembrokeshire Blue Tits page. I'm swimming at Dar Beach at 10 o'clock this morning. If you'd like to come and join me, please do. Sometimes one might come, sometimes 50 might come. It all depends on the day, the weather, what people are doing, that kind of thing. And we do find, though, that there are more people joining in the winter months. And now, of course, it is much more popular. You see this now where it is encouraged to go and immerse yourself into cold water for all sorts of health benefits. And there are, of course, we've discovered loads and loads of health benefits. But one of them really, that the the most basic one is just connecting with each other. There are no expectations in the Blue Tits. You don't have to be an amazing swimmer. You don't have to be a swimmer. You can just come along and sit down, drink a cup of coffee, eat a cake, and
Ooh.
talk. Absolutely, you can just paddle. You don't even have to paddle. Just come along. There is no distance involved in it. So when we get in, we often just dip in, and we swim in a circle, talk an awful lot of rubbish, and then get out again. It's very loose, relaxed affair. But the real baseline of all of this is just connecting with other human beings in a very non-competitive, friendly way. You know, there is, we don't mind who you are, what you do, what you're able to do. It doesn't matter. Just come along and have some fun. There's something about the cold water, though, that really makes all your inhibitions just disappear. So we say that, you know, what happens in the water stays in the water. People come out with all sorts of interesting phases when they enter the water, and that is part of the fun. You know, we've kind of connected with that childhood's joy of just going to the beach or the river or the lake that we used to have. And I think that's an awful lot of the success of the Blue Tits. It's just very relaxed. Come along, have a swim, and be yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
I imagine that connecting with the community, it's a real bonding experience, isn't it? To put yourself in an uncomfortable situation deliberately with your fellow peers, and to share that moment and that experience connecting with nature as well. When you come out, you feel like you've made best friends, I imagine.
You do. I mean, that is the great thing. And people will say, oh, when they come along, oh, I've been looking at you for a year and I wished I'd come along sooner. Everybody comes when they're ready to come, because they have no idea what's going to happen to them. And they have all sorts of fears and worries. But when they do come along, and if they do come in the water, that cold water has that amazing ability to just push everything out of your brain. It's that real moment where your body is like, oh dear me, we have to survive this. So come on, let's survive. So you, for a moment, just lose all those inhibitions, and those people around you really do become your best friends. You've never met them before, but you'll say something, they'll laugh, you'll laugh, and then slowly but surely you make really good friends with them on the shore afterwards, because the wonderful thing about that adrenaline is that it's freed your brain of all the rubbish that's inside. And when you come out, you're on this absolute high. So of course, everybody around you, you just want to talk to them. You want to tell them how amazing that you feel. And it creates that friendship, that bond really, really quickly. And great friendships are made, you know, through the Blue Tits. And that is partly why we are so successful, I think, is that there is this wonderful adrenaline making friends, doing it throughout the winter, you know, when it gets really, really cold. And people only go in the water for minutes in the winter. It's all about dipping. And we've tried to use the word dipping more than swimming now, because swimming can mean to some people, oh, I've got to be a good swimmer, I've got to be able to swim a long way. It isn't like that. It's dipping. It's that 3 minutes, 2 minutes even, of just that cold shock that makes you feel alive and amazing.
Oh, that's so good. And doing it with the Blue Tits, you're connected not only with the person next to you, but also that understanding that you're all experiencing the same thing with people from around the world. You mentioned New Zealand there. What are you most looking forward to on Saturday? Is there a moment where you think, I can't wait for that bit?
I love going around and meeting new Blue Tits. So whenever I can, I travel around to certain places in Britain and I swim and meet the groups. And that is the best fun ever for me. I love hearing how people's lives have been changed through the Blue Tits, or how people have just found friendship, basically. Some people's lives have really been changed dramatically, and some people have just found friendship. They've moved to a new area, they were lonely, they've come along and they've made some friends. So that for me is the real joy of the day. I mean, I talk too much, and I know this is giving Amy, our media Blue Tit, an absolute headache already.
Not at all.
Yeah, she's teaching me all of this, which means you've got 30 seconds or something, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. You're going to actually push me off the seat, because I can talk. But the other thing is, it's not all about me on this day. It's about the other Blue Tits around the world, and they've got to be able to talk. So it's like, I'm just going to have to let them talk. But for me, that's the great fun. And we've got competitions all day. So we've got wonderful competitions that we're going to ask people to make a comment live. And then we'll be picking winners, or I don't know how they've chosen how they're going to pick the winners, but winners will be chosen throughout the day. And we're talking to some of the people who support us, some of the companies who support us, who I have a lot of respect for, because they've supported us from the beginning when we were a tiny, tiny little organization. And now they are still with us. And so that's wonderful for us to give them the platform as well to tell us why they're still with us.
Amazing. And the Blue Tits is your name on Facebook. So if people want to find out more, is that the first port of call they should go to, Facebook?
Yes, we are the Blue Tits Chill Swimmers on Facebook. Yes, so all they have to do is go onto our Facebook account, and apparently, so I'm told, it will be there live, and you will be able to comment.
It will be there.
Get involved. And so Amy, Sarah, and Ben, and goodness knows who else will be there on the day, looking at all the comments and then shoving me bits of paper
nice.
so I can comment on it all throughout the day. And it's just really, really exciting, because we've got lots of pre-recorded things as well. So we've got people from around the world doing their little Happy World Blue Tit Day dances, shanties, songs, you name it. There's so many. There's the enthusiasm for it.
Many.
I love it.
The enthusiasm is pouring over. Gina, I don't know about you, but I want to jump in the sea.
I know. Well, I wanted to watch you jump in the sea while I have my coffee. Think about jumping in the sea. But that's where it can start, can't it? Like you said, you can sit back, enjoy, watch others, and then think, do you know what? When I'm ready, then I'm going to get in. But I can get that sense of just bursting with energy and bursting with extremely proud of what you've set up and how it's sort of caught on around the world. Absolutely amazing.
And it really is around the world. I'm just looking at the comments now on your Facebook page. You've got Jules Jones going to be in Newport, Pembrokeshire, visiting from Anglesey. Hope to swim with someone there. You've got Jenny from Blue Tits Australia. It'll be 6 p.m. over there when the celebration starts. And you've got someone saying, I'm going to be in Edinburgh. And someone has commented saying, oh, you can join the Edinburgh Blue Tits, and tag the group in as well. So the community is alive and active on the Facebook page there as well. Sian, have the best day ever on Saturday. You're going to float around after those 6 hours and just embrace it all. And thank you so much for joining us and giving that enthusiasm to us this morning. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. See you in the water soon, both of you.
Yes.
It's on my to-do list. It is on my to-do list. So one thing that we're not going to do is we're going to submerge ourselves, and we're going to have Sam Fender now with 17 going under the blue water is the logic in my head. It makes sense. So we're having that for you. It's 8:34 here at Sian. Thank you so much. Have the best time with you and all of the global Blue Tits around the world. You're listening to Pure West Radio.